Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming back to the channel. It's Megan here, the Healing Foods Coach, also known as the Faithful Fibromyalgia Warrior. I hope you're all doing well. I am feeling extremely well today on this beautiful Sunday, August the 25th. And as you can hopefully see in the background, it is a beautiful sunny day here in Colchester, England. It's actually not as warm as I would have hoped. But it is actually going to be a beautiful day today. And I just wanted to say thank you for all of your kind words, your ongoing support, your encouragement, and just thank you, as always, for subscribing. So today's topic is about the challenge sometimes that we can face in life of wanting to take action, not taking action, knowing we have to decide to do something different to improve our health, and the challenges of not doing anything. And I speak from personal experience. As you guys will know from my many videos, it took me a while before I was finally ready to try keto and then move into carnivore. I had not been for many, many years willing to give up my favorite plant materials, whether that was in the natural state, whether that was fruits and vegetables, whether that was the grains and the legumes and the pulses, or whether that was the processed junk food. I didn't want to give it. I didn't want to give it up. I wasn't happy with where I was at health-wise. I wasn't happy with where I was at weight-wise or mental health-wise, and yet I refused to follow through. Why am I sharing that? Because I think it's probably safe to say that I'm far from the only person coming into this carnivore space who has ever struggled with emotional and mental health issues that often were a result of deciding to eat the garbage and the junk or the things that were just not helpful to my body, and yet not knowing quite how to get out of it. And I know that sometimes the decision to try an animal-based diet, it's a simple decision, doesn't make it an easy decision. However, we can take action. We can take small steps. What do I mean by that? For those of you who are just considering coming into this way of eating, I'm so glad you have. I think you're going to find incredible benefits to your overall health and emotional state, absolutely, as we get out the processed seed oils and refined sugars and just all the garbage that really doesn't do us any favors of any kind. Those brief momentary pleasures that just are not worth the consequences later. However, it can be hard and daunting to consider giving everything up and just going to animal sources of meat and protein in the beginning. Of course it is. Some of us are there got to this point out of desperation because we were so tired of feeling tired and sore and sick and unwell. And this was our final try. And it's worked for myself and many of us. But for some of us, we're not quite there yet, and that's okay. Even something as simple as maybe have a burger without the bun or half the bun, starting with cutting back on the amount of starchy vegetables we consume, reducing it little by little, simply starting by reducing and then cutting out all processed sugars, eliminating the junk food, which is hard. Absolutely. It isn't designed to be addictive. It is not an easy thing. And so I get that. There are some people like me who we had to cut it out cold turkey. We had to, because it was so badly affecting our overall health and mental well-being. We had to simply cut it out because there are many of us who cannot be moderators. We must be abstainers. And so for those of us who are, we have to do it all at once. We have to. We simply have to in order to find our true health. So if I share this because if the goal ultimately is to improve our health, hopefully lose some body fat, and enjoy life once again, it's about the process of getting there. And sometimes that can be really scary. What if it doesn't work? If you're like me and perhaps you spend years doing calorie restrictions or binging or purging or a cycle combining all those things, we've tried the pills and the powders and the shakes and the programs, and it didn't work. And we were often left feeling, well, it's got to be me. I'm a failure. I haven't got the willpower. No, that isn't actually necessarily the case. It's It's about completely changing the dynamic of what we're eating, not the amount of it, but what is it made up of? If it's made up of mostly processed powders or pills or bars or shakes, there's going to be so many fillers and additives. Even if you take out refined sugar, that sweet taste for someone like me who is addicted to sweet taste, who's addicted to sweet tasting things, whether it was full of sugar or not, guess what? It will be impossible for me to restrict myself to say one meal replacement bar. I would easily eat an entire box of 6 all in one sitting because the sweet taste was what I found addictive. And when you go without eating, when you get into a state of hunger for long enough, it's easy to binge and overeat and be tempted by everything available. And so I wanted to share that because what I'm realizing is that you might be hearing this, first of all, and thinking, oh my gosh, I will never be able to do this. Please don't hear that. I thought that too. Until I realized all it takes sometimes is just a simple decision, a single step every day, and doing it consistently. That could be instead of eating cold cereal for your breakfast or even oats, start with allowing yourself to eat a fried egg and some bacon. Maybe you want to try sausages. Maybe you want to have an omelet, add some cheese, make it taste amazing. Something simple to completely and radically change what your brain is used to. And when you can do that, success is almost inevitable. And I wanted to share that because I don't want you guys thinking this was like magical and amazing and I just did it and it was easy, because it wasn't. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of making decisions every day. Instead of focusing on, well, I can't have the bread, or I can't have this, or I can't have that, it was, but I can enjoy this. So instead of me thinking, I can't have my favorite oatmeal with syrup and berries and sugar, oh, but I can have bacon and eggs and sausage. And that was way more filling, way more nutrient dense, way more fulfilling. And before I knew it, I started to miss my oats with fruit and sugary flavors less and less every day, to the point where I don't miss it at all now. And sometimes that's all we need to do, is we just start making these little consistent changes every day, sticking with it, and the amazing transformations can come afterwards. So I get that it's hard to sometimes get started. However, if we are determined and if we make the decision we're going to start this way of eating, then I would suggest, as soon as you decide, I'm ready today to start right then. That might mean, I want to start this today. Okay, go make yourself bacon, eggs, or sausage, for example. What if you're not at home? What if you don't want to cook? What if you're out running errands? Stop somewhere, grab yourself a burger patty. Get yourself, if you can, order yourself eggs and bacon. Most places offer these options on our full day menu, or you can ask for it as individual items. Stop in at an all day breakfast place and ask for those things, because the success you will feel by taking that one small step will be amazing, and you'll want to keep doing it. And you feel good and you'll enjoy the food, and it can just build from there. So I guess this is my way of saying that in order to be successful on the carnivore journey, it is honestly, truly nothing more complicated than deciding you're willing to try, regardless of whatever diets or restrictive patterns or disordered eating you may have had in the past. They do not determine your success in being able to follow a carnivore diet. And not just thinking of it as a diet, think of it as a lifestyle, because that's what it is. It's changing your mindset around food being there for you to feel fueled, about food being there to nourish you and not entertain you and not help you cope with emotional challenges. Food is there to nourish and fuel our bodies. And that took me a long time to break through that. But once I did, food then had the place it was supposed to in my life. I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for all your subscribes. Thank you for your likes and your comments. I really hope that you guys have a fantastic day today. Love you all so much. I will see you tomorrow with more content. Bye for now.